Hi, this is Sporty King, the master of listening, and I'm excited to be one of the 2020 Visionaries. We're six heart centered thought leaders and influencers based in the greater Charlotte area, excited to deliver our pandemic perspectives to help you keep it together while we're in this together, experiencing it differently. Today, I'll be talking to fellow visionary Dianne Chase. As we continue our pandemic perspectives interviews, Dianne, what are you seeing in terms of people making adjustments?
Sporty, communication it's always critical, but it
Mm,
is ever more critical now. And I am seeing and hoping to see more of leading with empathy in your communication. So really starting out a conversation or a communication or a meeting with how are you doing? With a sincere interest in how your client, your colleague, your customer, your partner, your employees, how are they doing? And then to say, is there anything I can do to support you? Is there something that you need that I can do for you? Making that personal bond even stronger across all of your stakeholders is really important right now. And using words, using language that is, we talked in the first session about feelings over formality.
mhm.
So now we want to use language that conveys empathy, it conveys understanding, it conveys feeling about, you know what, this is not a situation anyone wants to be in, but we're all in it together. And as we say, we're getting through it together in different ways,
Differently. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how do we communicate with empathy and lead with that even more than ever before? Lead
Is
with that.
but is there the chance that it could seem contrived? Where somebody, okay, yeah, they're asking me how I am. Do we need to set it up in advance to say, look, this is how we're going to start? And similar to how you go to a network meeting, they say, okay, everybody's going to get a minute. So I'm going to go around and ask how's everybody doing, and you've got 2 minutes versus somebody feeling like they may
Yeah.
go.
I think again, back to the feelings over formality. First of all, the essence of a good leader, really the essence of a good human being, is caring and leading with empathy, to really ask someone how they're doing and stop and listen,
Right.
and listen actively. You know
Mm,
all about that,
mm-hmm.
and how important it is to take it in and to provide some sort of feedback or some sort of response or some sort of message that thank you for sharing, and that person will get the fact that you were not just phoning it in, that you actually paid attention. And a lot, it's harder for some people to really answer that question with anything other than, oh, I'm good, or I'm fine. And you know
Yes.
what fine stands for?
No.
Feelings
Okay.
I'm not expressing.
Wow. I didn't have
I'm
that one. Okay.
So
Mm.
remember that, especially if you have a significant other.
And see
I'm
now
fine.
I didn't know that one, but I can
You
instantly
can
go on
you
as,
can
as
use
the
that.
feelings I never express, because then they're the feelings someone never wants to express, that they're afraid. If in a family
Absolutely.
structure, maybe the husband's too macho, or maybe the parent is trying to stay strong for the kids. Hmm.
Exactly right. Exactly right. And you never want to force someone, no, tell me how you really feel.
Right,
But
right.
but but if you start building that relationship and just kind of set the tone, so that other person, even if they say, oh, I'm fine, everything's good, and
Mm,
it's really not, the next time you say that, they might open up a little bit because they're like, I think they really do want to know how I'm doing. And maybe they'll share a little bit. But building those relationships now when we need them more than ever, and we need to build trust. How do you communicate to convey trust? How are your words creating an atmosphere, an environment that you can build on when we're through this. So
Hmm.
people need people more than ever before right now. And you don't want to end up on the other side of this having lost relationships because you were in the bunker or because you were not communicating. You were not being more proactive. So proactive communication is much more important than sitting in the office and sending out another email or answering another email. How can you connect with people in a more personal way? So businesses, leaders, CEOs are really getting out there more and being more visible, which is what is so needed right now. And visible right now amounts to what we're doing right now, right? Because we
Hmm.
can't sit across from each other and save money on coffee or have
Right.
coffee. I was thinking about that. That was like Freudian because I'm like, wow, I'm saving so much money on coffee meetings now. Anyway,
That's true.
looking for the bright spot. Because I lived for my in-person coffee meetings. But so how can you make sure that you don't lose touch and stay visible with people? Making eye contact, even if it's over a computer screen, is a whole lot more powerful than just an email.
Well, now
Other than
there's a tip worth sharing because it can be tough making eye contact on the computer screen because do you look at the screen or do you look at the little camera?
you
Uh,
look at the camera,
yeah,
you look at the camera. Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's all kinds of there's a whole new skill set around how to do this and how to do
Hmm.
it effectively, how to hold online meetings, what is your setup, what is your background, what distractions do you need to make sure you shut down before you start a meeting. All of that adds to the power of your communication, right? Because it's like when I do media training, for instance,
Hmm.
there's so many opportunities for the viewer to completely miss what you're saying because you have like something on your shoulder or your buttons unbuttoned or your hair's out of place
Wow.
or your tone of voice is off and
Hmm.
distracting. All those distractions take away from what you're trying to communicate. And the truth is that more than 90% of successful communication is not based solely on what you're saying.
Hmm.
Only 7%
Right.
is this Moravian about
It's
the
the
words you say.
words.
So
Right.
if there's a disconnect, the words you say, your body language and your tone of voice are not congruent,
Hmm.
people are they're not going to pay attention. They're not going to understand. They're going to probably misunderstand and forget it altogether. So um, again, being in this massively visual world, it's here we are.
And it's interesting because I've had someone challenge me on what you just talked about, the 7%, where I've said that, 93% of our communication is nonverbal. And I had someone challenge me saying that that has been upgraded and I need to do further research. The reason I say that is because I take it back to the message that I know we shared last time, and that is in terms of who you're going to listen to,
Mm,
choosing your messengers. And so you've got
right.
sometimes where someone feel, well, I don't agree with that, and they shut off instead of
Hmm.
listening the way that you just finished saying we should do. So you know
Absolutely.
it's a tough balance, and I hope people realize that you don't have to get it right every single time, but you have
Right.
to be working toward getting it right.
Right. Exactly. And again, if you are an authentic person,
Hmm.
that will come across above everything. So whether it's seven or I have read some new studies that you know the numbers are changing because we're in a digital world now,
Mm.
and I get that. But the point is that there has to be alignment between what you're saying and how you're saying it. What's your body saying? What's your tone of voice saying? And what are your words saying? So if I say, "Wow, I'm really happy to be here," you're going to go, "No, you're not." You're going to think, "No, you're not." there's a visiting uh, pastor at church one Sunday, and he was there for a specific event, uh, and he got up there and he said, "I am so excited." I mean, he was excited. He
Uh-huh.
wasn't saying, because how many times are you, "I'm really excited to be here." It's just like flatline, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, well, maybe they are, maybe they're not." So again, it's the complete package of communication, and you have to lead with authenticity too.
And
And
and I think there's a good speaking tip in there for us, because I've seen people. Uh, I understand that you may have a prepared speech,
mhm.
you know, but if part of the preparation is, I'm really excited to be here with you.
You're not excited.
It's yeah,
If you have to
yeah,
write it down.
yeah, it's not coming across. And I've seen people
Oh,
literally
absolutely.
read it.
You see it all the time.
And like, you
Absolutely.
didn't need to read it. Even if you wrote it as a way to remind yourself, don't read that part. Go on and write it to remind yourself. But get up there and you can memorize that one.
I know. Well, back to authenticity. If you're excited, you're not going to have to remind yourself. It's just going to be like, "I am excited to be here."
Yeah, yeah. Well, but here's the only reason I say that. One thing that we can take for granted, remember, you've got people who are scared to death of public speaking.
Sure.
And so, so they have to, so we're not saying to those of you who maybe, well, I'm scared, I don't want to speak. Okay, look, you remind yourself of every little thing. It's okay. But
No, that's
then,
okay. That's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, but
But I
then
think,
put the speaking into
I
it.
think it just, in terms of pivoting right now, where everyone's having to communicate in new ways, and we're talking about this crazy computer, which consumes our communication tool for the majority of our day now,
Hmm.
being conscious of that, being conscious, because that's what the person is seeing. That is it. They're not like, nobody's going to walk by and have another conversation. They're
Mm.
zoned in on you on the computer screen. And so it's really critical to do what you can to convey that empathy, that sincerity, that transparency,
Mm.
that authentic leadership that comes through your communication.
Hmm.
And again, you can be a leader of me, myself, and I, or you can be a leader of groups. You can be a leader in your community. It's, there's all kinds of different leadership. You can be a leader for your family, for sure.
Mm.
Absolutely.
But as you said, that the base of that formula is trust. Do you have and I said the base of the formula. Actually, that's what I wanted to ask you. Do you have a formula for creating that trust, or if not creating it, nurturing it? What word am I looking for?
Well, building trust really means sharing part of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And the power of personal storytelling to convey a business message or to convey any sort of message, really.
Mm-hmm.
And by opening up a little bit of yourself, as difficult as that may be for some people, that's where trust is born.
Okay.
You shared something personal about you, even though we're in this business situation or we're talking about a project or whatever it might be. I'm connecting with you now
Mm-hmm.
because you opened up a little bit to me, and I'm getting to know you as a human being, not just as my boss or not just as my partner or not just as a direct report. You're a person, and I begin to care about you, trust you, and want to work with you. I want to be loyal to you. I want to be loyal to this company and this project because it's all built on trust.
And
Otherwise, it's going to be the next shiny object or the next, company that offers you a pay raise or whatever it might be.
do you have any examples of anybody though that has done that without naming names, of saying this manager did this? Because I've heard someone say, I've heard a manager say that he has picked up, calling and doing Zoom calls with his staff more than he had ever done in the past.
Absolutely. There's lots of examples about that. And again, CEOs, managers, they are being more front and center. They
Okay.
are pushing themselves out of their probably comfort zone, because normally they'll be in the office, issuing edicts or directions, or the latest,
Yeah.
project figures or whatever it might be, and they know that that is not going to keep their people engaged, productive,
Hmm.
loyal. They've got to be eyeball to eyeball. And so it's really gratifying to see that happening. And the beautiful thing about it, the world is going to be changed forever. Business is going to be changed forever, because people are going to see how powerful it is to communicate in person rather than via email or text.
Hmm.
The power of that to keep people engaged and keep people aligned and on the same team and going for the same goal and keeping their eye on the mission, the vision.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, Diane. Was there anything that you didn't get to throw in there that you might want to throw in before we get out of here? Or
Just keep on, keep
yeah,
on communicating.
yeah,
Be
yeah.
your authentic self, and you'll come out ahead every time.
Every single time. Thanks so much. Great to hear it. And that's the thing. We are enjoying coming out ahead of ahead and being ourselves every time with the 2020 Visionaries. That's why we're enjoying doing our pandemic perspectives. We hope everybody will remember to stay calm through this storm, and we hope we're offering a calm choice. And that you can choose to listen to us and engage with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and actually I set them in reversed order. So please, any comments you have, put them in the box. Any
Please do.
topics you want us to go with, and feel free to address, one of the visionaries. That would be fine as well.
Right.
All right.
We're all over LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube, of course, and we're doing this for others. And we want to hear from anyone who has feedback or comments or inputs or questions or topics that they want us to discuss.
Great. Yeah, one of us will be able to. Thanks again, Diane, and thank everybody for listening in. We appreciate you. Be
Thanks,
safe.
all.
All right.